Hi everyone! In this video, I'm going to be doing my August bullet journal spreads. This month's theme is a Vaporwave computer aesthetic. Vaporwave is a visual art and music style that involves a lot of early internet imagery and computers from the 1990s. For this month's theme, I decided to do my own take on Vaporwave. For the cover page, I'm painting a road leading into a pastel sky with watercolors. I painted the sky blue and pink. A bullet journal is an organization system that you can customize. I like to be artistic in my bullet journal, which is why I'm painting. I'm painting a darker blue color for the bushes. I mostly use blue watercolors for the grass. The Vaporwave art style uses a lot of blue, pink, and purple colors, so I'm going to use those colors a lot throughout my spread. I messed up on one of the clouds, so I'm going to cover it with a piece of paper. I just glued the piece of paper on to cover it. Now I'm just going to make the bushes and grass a little bit darker with some blue watercolors. Once I finish the base layer, I'm going to wait for it to dry. Meanwhile, I'm going to work on the cover page. For the cover page, I decided to draw lots of computer windows and tabs on top of each other. The painting is going to be on the computer window in the center. I'll be drawing a lot of computer windows in this video. I'm just using a ruler to draw 4 boxes for the windows. Then I added a border around of each box. I'm coloring the edges of each box with some brush markers. I stuck to blue and pink colors to match the Vaporwave theme. The middle window is going to be a paint program, so I'm drawing in the paint tools. I just doodled some simple symbols. At the bottom, I'm coloring in the paint colors using blue, pink, and purple. The bottom window is going to be a drawing of clouds. I drew some clouds outside of the window to make it look more interesting. I also drew some leaves outside of the window. I colored the leaves purple instead of green because I wanted it to match the color scheme. To color in the clouds, I'm just using a pastel pink marker. I wrote each of the titles on the title bar. I also drew 3 control buttons in the corner. To color in the sidebar of the paint program, I'm using a gray color pencil. Then I just erased the pencil marks, and now I'm going to add the title window. I'm drawing the window with a ruler. I put the title window on a separate piece of paper because I will glue it on top of the painting later. Then I'm writing August in a block pixely style font. To make this font, just write the capital letters normally, and then go over them with rectangle shaped lines. Only use straight lines and no curved lines. If there's a curve in the letter, then make a space in between the 2 lines. I think this font fits the theme well and is perfect for the title because it's bold. Then I just colored the title window with a pink marker. I cut out the excess pieces of paper on the edges. Then I'm using a white gel pen to fix up the line that I messed up. Now the painting is dry, so I'm going to cut it and fit it to the window that I drew. I just used a glue stick to glue it on. Now I'm gluing on the title window. When you put it on a separate piece of paper, it makes it look like the window is on top. To add some more contrast and details to the painting, I'm using some colored pencils. I'm coloring in the clouds with a light blue pencil. I added more definition to the bushes in the background. Using a dark blue color pencil, I just colored in the grass and the bushes. I also drew a crescent moon at the top of the sky. Then I'm adding some stars with some white gel pen. I'm drawing 2 telephone poles with the same blue colored pencil so that it doesn't look too empty. I'm just going to outline the title window to make it pop out a bit more. And here's the finished title page. I really love how it turned out. Moving on to the calendar spread. This spread functions as a calendar where I'll write all my events, important dates, and appointments. I decided to make this page look like a desktop with many windows on top. The calendar is going to be on one of the windows. I used a ruler to draw a border around the window. For the calendar, the first day of August is on a week by itself, so I decided to cut that day off because I wanted to save room. So the calendar is going to start on August 2nd instead of August 1st. It's okay though because it's only one day, so it doesn't really affect the calendar. I also drew some extra windows for drawings. The first window is a cloud drawing. I drew clouds outside of the window and all around the calendar. Now I'm just writing in the dates. I'm using chalk pastel for the background because it creates a very smooth and clean background that you can't get with markers or colored pencils. I didn't color in the clouds or the windows. I just used my fingers to blend it out. After that, I'm using a tissue to wipe off the excess chalk. Some chalk got into the areas that I didn't want, so I'm erasing it to make it look cleaner. To color in the windows, I'm just highlighting the edges using a brush marker. I used a different colored brush marker for each window. Now I'm finishing up the tabs by adding a few details. I'm writing August on the top window. I wrote it in a simple capital letter font. This spread has a lot of extra things, so it might take some time to draw everything. To make it look like a real desktop, I'm drawing some desktop icons on the side. I turned them into bullet journal related things. I put these in to fill in the space and add some decoration. I finished coloring the other two tabs with the brush marker. I have these sticky notes that are perfect for the notes on the side of the calendar. I'm just sticking it on and adding some washi tape to secure it. I added a few control buttons on the corner to make it look like a real window. I added a drop shadow to all of the windows. I'm highlighting the bar for the days of the week. Then I'm writing the abbreviations for the days of the week. I'm using colored pencils to color them in. I just colored it very simply. I colored in the days with alternating pink and blue colors. Since this is a desktop, I'm drawing a taskbar at the bottom. I kept it very simple because I didn't want it to be too distracting. And here is the finished calendar page. It looks so pretty. I wish I had a desktop that looked like this in real life. Moving on to the quote page. This page doesn't have a function, it's just for fun. For this page, I decided to draw some computer pop-ups with quotes on them. I made a reminder and alert pop-up. I also drew a cloud window on the side. I'm going to write the quotes on the pop-ups. I drew a mouse cursor that's about to click on the buttons. I'm extending the clouds outside of the window and drawing them all over the page to fill up the empty space. For the quotes, I'm writing love yourself more and take a break. I think these two quotes go together really well. Lastly, I just colored in the windows with some brush markers. As you can see, the top right corner of the window is smooth, but the bottom left is streaky. This is because I colored slowly. If you want to color with brush markers, make sure you color it fast and go in the same direction so you can get a smooth surface. I also used some colored pencils to color in the title bar for each of the windows. Then I added some simple shading to the clouds. Now on to the YouTube video plan / brain dump. This is where I'll write all my ideas and plans for YouTube videos. I'm drawing a large notepad just like the ones you see on Microsoft. I thought a notepad would be perfect for this spread because it's where I'll place my notes. I also drew a small window on the side for a drawing. I added the control buttons at the top corner of the window. For the small window on the side, I'm drawing the outline of a planet. I used a white gel pen to cover up the line that I messed up. To make it look like a real notepad, I'm adding in the settings at the top. This will also help disguise the line that I messed up. Now I'm going to color in the planet. I colored in the top bar of the planet a light purple color. To make the sky, I'm starting with a dark purple color and fading it downwards. I'm using a colored pencil at the top to make the sky darker. I'm also adding a drop shadow on the side to make it pop. I used a pink colored pencil to color in a swirl in the planet. Then I just used a brush marker to fill the whole thing in. Lastly, I'm making the ring of the planet thicker by using a pen. I'm finishing the notepads by coloring the border a light pink color. I'm also using a gray colored pencil to color in the settings panel. To finish everything off, I'm adding some grid washi tape to both pages. That's the finished result. Now we're moving on to the habit tracker. This page is where I'll track how many times I do my habits each month. It will help me see how often I do my habits and which one I need to improve on. I'm drawing 9 individual mini August calendars for each habit. I'm going to turn these calendars into computer tabs so it matches the theme. To make these calendars, I just use a ruler to draw 3 straight lines across 3 calendars. I stop in between each calendar to create a gap. Basically, I'm creating a grid. I don't usually do it this way since it takes more time. So if you want to see a faster method of drawing habit trackers, Check out my other July bullet journal video. Click the card to see it. I'm drawing 6 rows and 7 columns. Now I'm writing each habit on the title bar. I wrote .exe to make it look like a file. I also added a little X in the corner of each window. Now I'll highlight the top and bottom of each tab with alternating colors. The color of the tab will be the color that I use to fill in the trackers. I use blue, pink, and purple. I layered the purple and blue markers on top of each other to get a darker blue color. Now I'm using a gray colored pencil to color in the blocks that aren't part of August. The bottom looked a little bit empty, so I'm drawing in a phone. I wanted to do something different instead of just drawing computer tabs all the time. I kept the drawing very simple to balance it out since there's so much detail in the habit trackers above it. This kind of ties into the computer theme, and I will write the title in the text bubble. I made a few mistakes on the hand, so I tried to cover it with a white gel pen. I'm drawing a messaging app on the phone so that it looks like it's texting. Now I'm drawing in the text bubble, which is where I'll write the title. I wrote habit tracker in a font that looks like it's being typed. I just erased the pencil marks. Before I color everything, I'm putting in this piece of washi tape to cover up the mistake on the hand. I'm also adding pink washi tape to fill in the empty space. I tried to keep it simple and I only used 4 colors. For the inside of the phone, I used a colored pencil to create a lighter color than the marker. I barely colored in the hand, I just added some shadows with a colored pencil to make it look minimal. Finally, I'm adding a drop shadow to everything. This will make it pop. This is how to use the habit tracker. Each day I'll fill in a square after I completed the habit. I will track how many squares I fill in for each habit. On the very next page, I'm going to do the mood tracker. This is where I'll track my moods and see how my mood changes throughout the month. So for this page, I wanted the mood tracker to be on the computer monitor. First, I'm drawing the monitor. I made the corners rounded. Now I'm going to draw a frame around the monitor. I'm going to make it look like a browser, so I'm drawing in the search bar and other details like that. At the top, I made a tab that said mood tracker. I will write the title at the bottom later, but I thought it would be cool to write mood tracker and make it look like a website. Now I'm drawing in the lines for the graph. I'll be tracking my moods on a line graph. The vertical axis is my moods. The happy moods are at the top and the bad moods are at the bottom. The horizontal axis is for the dates. I wrote 31 days for each day of August. Now I'm finishing the bottom of the monitor. I just drew a simple box with a ruler. I'm writing mood tracker using the same block pixel style font that I used for the cover page. Then I just colored in the bottom of the monitor with some brush markers. I'll use purple for the bottom and pink for the frame on the edges of the monitor.
Character.
For the browser and the tabs at the top, I just used a light pink brush marker. To make the mood tracker tab stand out, I went over it twice to make it darker.
Character.
This is how I'm going to use this mood tracker. Each day I'll make a dot at a height depending on my mood. Then I'll connect it with a line. In the end, it will be easy to see the high and low points of my mood on the graph. Okay, now both trackers are done. Here's how it turned out. Let's move on to the very last spread. This is the weekly spread where I'll write all my tasks and to-do lists for each week. To color in the background, I'm using some chalk pastel. I'm avoiding the areas that I don't want to color in, like the boxes and clouds. I'm starting with a purple chalk pastel at the top. Then I'm adding some pink chalk pastel at the bottom half. I blended it out to make it look like a purple and pink radiant sky. To get a smooth transition between both colors, I'm going back in to add more chalk and blend it in. I'm also using a tissue to wipe off the excess chalk. This will make sure it doesn't smear. I wanted to make the title stand out and look different, so I'm using a blue colored pencil to outline the box with rounded corners. The rest of the boxes will just be computer windows outlined in black. I drew 6 computer windows with some of them overlapping each other. I'll write my tasks for each day on the windows. I skipped Saturday because I wanted to add it to next week's spread. If you want to see 2 full weeks of weekly spreads, then check out my other June bullet journal video. The windows are very simple. It's just a box with line on top for the title bar. I'm adding a box on the side for my weekly tasks and events. Now I'm drawing in the top clouds with a blue marker. I use this bluish purple color to match the background. For the bottom half of clouds, I'm using a pink marker. Now I'm highlighting the titles of each window using pink and purple. I alternated the colors for each window. I erased the pencil marks and the chalk pastel that accidentally went into the clouds. To finish off the boxes, I'm adding the days of the weeks. I decided not to put too many buttons in the corner because I wanted it to look very simple. So I only added a small X in the corner of each window. The weekly task box is where I'll write my tasks that I need to complete sometime during the week. Finally, I'm writing week 1 at the top in a very simple lowercase font. Before the final flip through, please give this video a like. Now on to the final flip through. This theme was so pretty and aesthetically pleasing. I think it's one of my favorites so far. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.